Oh, I see the recording. Okay, there we go. So, hi guys, welcome back to our second class. We're still obviously going to be getting used to how everything's going. So, what I want to do now is I know that Katie sent the email saying you guys to practice. I mean, obviously practice like your alphabet and the days of the week, or not days of the week. I'm gonna show you all that. I realized that was not added last time, so I'm gonna show you guys that today. But time. And one of the challenges we had was for you to sign your name, word name. So I want to take a minute and just kind of like take turns and have everybody just finger spell their first name. And if you don't feel like it's great, if you have to go slow, that's totally fine. I understand. So I was going to start with Miss Winnie. Is that okay with you, since you're kind of my next person?
Got it.
Okay. Yes. Oh, perfect. Okay, and then Miss Beth, I think you're next on mine. You're on mute, so I can't hear you.
It's been a long week. I didn't look at the video till this morning, so sorry.
That's totally fine. Ooh, sorry, I went slow. B, E, T. Perfect. Good. You got a short name, so it'll be easy to remember. And then I have iPhone as the name, and I think
it's
yes,
Andy.
you. Andy. Okay, perfect.
A-N. Oh, wait.
Yes, no, you're right. You're right. D. Point your finger.
D-Y.
Yes, perfect. Awesome.
Thank
All
you.
right, then.
Jillian, I was gonna let you know that DC Telebon cannot join in right now.
Yes, I saw that.
Okay.
Yes, no worries, no worries. Oh, I gotta close so I can make it big again. Okay, there we go. All right, Miss Katie, are you ready to sign your name?
I think so.
Wait, up.
Oh wait, that was P. Okay, so like
So-
this? Is that?
So you're making a peace sign. Your middle finger goes slightly forward, and then you put your thumb between. It's a very strange feeling finger or motion.
Like-
so I apologize for
Wait,
that.
like
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
A-T-I.
E.
Why am I forgetting E? It's A, B, C, D,
Woo.
D. But what is E? Why can't I
E.
do E? Oh my gosh. E.
It's totally fine. Do not worry. Do not stress. That's why I was
got
like, I'm
most
giving
of
y'all
it.
that challenge. And I promise by the end of this, you'll be like, oh, I can finger spell my name. If all else fails, I at least remember that. So, all right. And then I have Miss Anne.
And me?
Oh, we have two. Anne with the E.
Yes,
Yes.
A-N-A.
And then Anna. Now you.
Me?
Yes, you.
Anna. Okay. A,
Mhm.
N, A.
Perfect. Okay. And then Miss Emily, I have you.
Okay. E.
Mhm.
I always mess up M.
3
Yeah.
fingers over your thumb. There you go. Yes.
I. L. My favorite. Y.
Yes, perfect. Yes. Okay, that was awesome. So I know y'all are still trying to get used to it, and trust me, some of y'all don't have the easiest letters in your name, and I get it. So, and don't stress. I mean, the best thing I would say for you guys, if you really want to practice that, is one of my favorite things that I used to do, especially when I was learning, like my first year, was wherever I went. If I wasn't driving, if I didn't have to like fully pay attention where I was going, I would look at signs and I would sit there and think, okay, A-L-A-B-A-M-A. And I would just practice like reading and practice writing, like spelling the words in my hands. And it took me a while. I would sit there and go, that's not right. I'd have to check a letter again. But after a while, I slowly could just look at a word and go, oh, Birmingham. Okay. and it just kind of helped me go faster and kind of make my spelling a little smoother. It wasn't so A, because there's a lot of people who will just kind of like, they're just like aggressively throwing their hand letters at you. And it's a little intimidating at first because you're like, oh, that sounds angry. But so that's always something that y'all can do to help you guys practice. I mean, I think y'all are doing great. I mean, you only had one meeting, but just in case y'all really wanted to practice more, there's always that option. So what I want to do now is we're going to review the ABCs, then our time signs, and then I'm going to give y'all, just since I think I gave y'all so much last week, I'm going to give you only a little this week and just kind of get y'all to have that time to practice. Yes, don't worry, Miss Beth. I saw you're like, oh, thank goodness. Just to practice what you guys have. And then we can always, what I can do later on is we can add more signs. We can try to do whatever. I'm very flexible on what you guys want and what you guys feel comfortable with. So are y'all ready to start with the ABCs? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to sign them. I'm just going to say them, and I want you guys to hold up your hand.
Can I ask you a
And-
question? Should everybody mute except you so that we're not hearing dogs in the background? And
Oh,
Things like-
yes.
thanks.
I
I think that's what we should do.
I also can't promise that my dogs won't bark. I will apologize if they do. I have two, and one's a Jack Russell Terrier who likes to think anytime she sees anyone coming near the yard, she goes, this is my place. No. So if I have barky dogs, I am so sorry. All right, are y'all ready to start the alphabet now? Okay. A. Yes, perfect. Okay. Then B. Put your, so 4 fingers up and your thumb over. There we go. Good. C. Easy. D. That one's your pointer finger pointing up. There you go. I know some are doing I get it. They're easy to flop. Then E. Good. Now, some you might notice will do, if you do this, it's not the worst thing, especially since you're learning. Because I remember I kept doing this, but a lot of people will tell you to make sure your thumb is definitely in, and maybe sometimes your finger's a little closer to your thumb. Don't go full touching, because then that's just O, but like closer. If you can, here, Micah, try to not shake, but a little closer, you see, there's that little gap between. That's what people say. That's what I remember my professor was like, don't you dare be doing a screaming E at me. It's E. So, but you guys are learning. So mistakes happen. And I made the same mistake. All right. F, how to think. F. There we go. F. Miss Anna, you good?
Yes. F.
Sorry, I couldn't see your hand, so I didn't know if you couldn't remember it. There we go. Perfect. All right. G. G is that, like you're doing a little pinch, but then sideways. G. Here we go. Good. H. Perfect. So it's the same thing, but with the second finger out. H. I. Pinkies up. There we go. J. That good. Oh wait, I gotta swap. J. There we go. Good. K. It's that really weird one. The thumb between the fingers. There we go. K. L. L. Perfect. M. Good. 3 fingers over your thumb. Good. N. Good. 2 fingers over thumb. All right, awesome. O. Awesome. And P. If y'all remember, P is a K, but down. There we go. And then Q is like the same like the G, but now it's pointing down. Good. Ooh, excuse me, I have the hiccups. R. like keeping a secret with your best friend. We're this close. Then S. Good, 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 good. T is that one finger over your thumb. V, ooh, U, sorry. When I go this slow, the alphabet slowly starts getting confusing for me. V, and then W, and then X, like hook, and then Y. Good, 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 good. Pointer finger down, the thumb out. So it's your pinky and your thumb. There you go. Perfect, Miss Anna. And then Z. Pointer finger just making the Z.
See. Oh,
All righty. So how are you guys feeling on that? Y'all kind of were just going. I saw some of you were just like, we're just going to go. I know the rest, which is good. I'm so happy to see that. So how would you guys prefer we just went straight on to the day signs? Or would you maybe want to do a little bit of a challenge where I spell a word and you guys try to guess it? You can either type it or just, do you want to just skip that and try to come back to that later? What would y'all prefer?
Spell a word.
Okay. Ooh, okay, wait a minute. Okay. So if you want to have me, I have to go to like that teacher mode where I'm like, I need the hands raising. So if you want me to spell a word and you try to see if you can read it, raise your hand. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if you want your hand, if you want me just to go straight to the time, raise your hand. Okay, no worries, no worries. We're definitely gonna get there. I'm not gonna do too many words because I don't want to just wear you guys out. So I'm gonna do some very simple words that are not long and are gonna take forever. So are you guys ready? Okay, so you can either type it on the chat, or if you just want to kind of watch and see, that's totally fine too. You don't have to participate. I'm not going to give you, it's not a participation grade to join. So, okay, right, ready? Here we go. Perfect. Oh, good, 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 good. Oh, that was awesome. I saw some of y'all making the motions. I was like, okay, we're good. All right. Now, let's see another one. I'm gonna think of some words. Okay. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, let's see. What's another good one? Okay, I got one. Awesome. Awesome. You see, you guys were so nervous. Some of y'all were so nervous. I'm like, y'all are getting this. So all it takes is that practice and that time. All right. Let's see. I'll do about 2 or 3 more and then we'll move on to time. You just have to think of words. That's the hard part for me. Okay, got one. I can see some of y'all mouthing it. I'm like, okay, yeah, they got it.
You did 2 O's, so I thought it was 2E.
Oh no, sorry. Sometimes I have to like grip my hand right here to really keep myself from moving too fast. I've started doing that in the classroom. I'm like, I have to slow my hand down. So if I start shaking on you, oh, let me show y'all. I'm gonna use a word where y'all see when there's 2 letters what you do.
That was going to be my question.
Yes, because there's 2 different ways you can go with it. So I'm gonna choose the word. I'm just gonna choose the word little. The reason I'm telling you is because it can get a little confusing and I don't want to over stress you guys with just a 5-letter word just yet. So the LITTLE. T. And so one way is you can go T, T. So it's like you're moving with it. T, T, L, E. Because normally when you're spelling a word, you don't kind of move like this. You kind of stay in one place and you go L-I-T or T-O-Y. But when you have two letters in it, that's when you would move over. Just that little move to show that. And then some people will just kind of tap. So they'll go L-I-T-T-L-E. I prefer the motion just because it's easier to see and you can always end up missing this. And so I always will go L-I-T-L-E. That. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. All right, let me do 2 more words and then we'll be done. Okay. Good, good. Good. I know but oh, I had something. I'm sorry. It was a crazy day today. So if I seem a little, that's all. But what was I gonna say? Well, oh, what I was gonna say is I could even try to give you guys, if you wanted to have some more practicing of almost like those practice quizzes, I can try to upload a few videos of myself signing words and you don't have to take them. It's not like it's a test, but to help practice yourself, I can do that and increase it to either I spell them faster or I make them longer words and give you guys kind of more of that challenge. If you guys want that, definitely let Katie know and then I can easily do that. That's not a problem at all. So that can also be something we do. All right, I'm gonna do one more word and then I promise I'm done. Oh, that's awesome. I'm sorry. I'm so like, that is awesome because I can remember learning that word and people kept going, God, because they flop their D's and their G's. And so they'd be like, what? Or they would say like fog. And they were so confused. So to see y'all really kind of going dog, it's really good. Y'all can differentiate those D's, F's, and G's. So awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, now let's move on to time. So the sign for time, you know, is tapping on your wrist like you're looking at your clock or your watch. And then we have second, which is that very little motion, very little. And then minutes, kind of longer. Or you can do kind of minute, where you have the pointer finger on your wrist, minute. Then 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, that. And then hour is your hand again and making that circular motion. So it's just like going in a circle, like it's going around a clock. There you guys go. And then you have day. I'm just gonna skip it. We're gonna back up. You have your hand here, you're pointing your finger up, and you go down, day, day. And then week is palm up, pointer finger, go straight across. Week, week, week. Good. And then we have month, which is the 2 fingers. You have your non-dominant hand pointing out towards you, like facing that way. And then your dominant hand facing you, and then brushing them across. Month, month, month. There you guys go. And then year is what Miss Katie was saying, the mashed potatoes. She remembers mashing her hands, basically, was the year. So you go full circle. And then we had today, which is the Y's, bouncing them. We had yesterday, which is your thumb from the corner of your mouth back to your ear. Yesterday. Tomorrow is thumb from, again, starting in the corner of your mouth, going forward, tomorrow. Then we had last week. Now either way works. Some will do this where they have it, their palm facing up. You can have it facing down and go back to, it's not a big deal, whichever way you prefer. Then next week is down and forward. Down and forward. There you go. Like you're moving on to next week. Then last month is that weird one I said I don't like. Where you go down and you go back. Then next month is down and go forward. And then next year is you start right here and you go next year. Next year. Excuse me. Then you have last year. Last year. Okay. So how do you guys feel on those? Do I need to go over a few? If there's specific ones you want me to go over, please let me know. I'm trying to remember if there's any other ones. I myself did not look at that video and I should have wrote down every word we learned. So I think that was about it. If there was any that I've missed, please let me know. But if you guys are feeling good on that, I'm happy to start with some new ones. They're not, I promise, like I said, they're not going to be that many. So it just doesn't totally just blow your brains. So.
Gillian, can I ask you a quick question?
Yes, ma'am.
One thing you said last week that gave me some comfort is if you don't know the signs, you can always spell it out. So
Yes.
if you're doing that, I assume you can give a complete sentence by spelling it, but what designates the break between words? Like if you're spelling a sentence.
So that would be your bouncing. You're trying to jump in between. So like if I'm spelling, let's see, let me try to spell a word. So it'd be like, my name is. You kind of have that small bounce, but also those pauses. So you want to just go, my name is Jillian. You would pause. It's like in a sentence, you say, hello, my name is Jillian. You have those small pauses. That's what you do in spelling, is you pause that as well. And so that's kind of how they do it. A lot of times they'll have everybody going slow, especially when you're finger spelling, because even then you can miss a letter, or so if the person watching will miss the letter. So just those pauses is how you do it.
Okay.
All right. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. And I'm sorry, y'all may have addressed it and I logged in late.
No worries. I have not actually, so I'm more than happy, and I don't mind repeating myself for anybody. So if you need me to tell you it again about 4 different times, I'm not going to get upset. I'm that person who has to ask about 4 different times to make sure she knows everything. So, all right. So the new words I was going to give you guys are days of the week. And then I was going to explain what y'all do with the days, like not the days, the month. So the months of the year. So we're going to start with days of the week. They're easy, not that hard. Once you kind of pick them up, they're like, that's easy. So we're going to start with no, we're not starting with Sunday. Sunday is confusing. We'll start with Monday. So Monday is the M, but you have it turned towards you and you do a circular motion. So like a circular motion, Monday. Then Tuesday is going to be that T, again, facing you, and circular motion again. So you're just going to continue that circular motion with almost all the first letters. So then Wednesday is a W, circular. Thursday, because the T is already used for Tuesday, you use your H. You just do H. I know that's technically your U, but they are like, oh, no, it's your H. So, and then Friday's the F, Friday. And then Saturday's the S, Saturday. And now Sunday has 2 different signs. One of them is Sunday, where you just kind of waving your hands in circular motions, or Sunday. Sunday. I like Sunday, like this one. That's how I remember. But some people will assign Sunday. So, and I feel like this question might get asked, and I'm going to let you guys know. So it's because it can be hard to sometimes see where the motion of your fingers are when you're signing the days. That's why especially when I'm using them, I really emphasize where my thumb is placed. So if you see my thumb is just sticking out, you can see it, and you can see I have 3 bumps. So that's how I do my Monday. And you can kind of see that my pinky is definitely not sticking up. So there's the Monday. And then with the Tuesday, you have your thumb basically just poking out. So you can see that Wednesday's easy, Thursday's easy, and Friday's easy. And then Saturday, since your thumb's not having to cover anything, I just kind of like, if I don't see any thumb motions, that's Saturday. So how does that sound, everybody? Do y'all feel good with that? Or do y'all want to practice? Do I need to go over again? What would y'all prefer?
Over again.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so Monday, the 3 fingers over your thumb, like an M, facing you and going in a circular motion. And then Tuesday's the T. And then you have that facing you, and that's another circular motion. Then Wednesday's the W, and then you circular motion that. Thursday's the H, circular motion. Friday's the F, circular motion. Then Saturday's the S, circular motion. And then Sunday's the Sunday or Sunday. It's whichever y'all prefer. So how's that? And obviously, since we're recording, you guys can definitely see this again and practice it on your own as well. So no worries there. All right. Now for month, what I was going to say is that, so you actually just finger spell for the months, but you do not finger spell the entire month out if they're long, like November, December, January, February. No, that's just so long. Your hand would start cramping and you'd be tired. So what we do, we'll start with January, is it's just the short little, what you do usually when you're writing it out, but you shorthand it, is the J-A-N. And then you have February, which would be F-E-B. March, you can do M-A-R or M-A-R-C-H. Either works. I mean, they'll know what you're saying when you say M-A-R. Then April's A-P-R. Some will do A-P-R-I-L. It's short enough, but either one, they're still going to know. Then May is just M-A-Y. And then June, you do J-U-N-E. July, J-U-L-Y. I can go over, I'm sorry, here, I'll slow this down. I'm gonna start again and actually slow my motions down so y'all can see it, because I realize I am flying through these. So January is the J-A-N. So J-A-N. Then February, F-E-B. March, M-A-R. April, A-P-R. May, M-A-Y. June, J-U-N-E. Did I skip March? No, okay, good. Sorry. Sometimes when they're slow, I'm like, did I skip one? I kept feeling like I skipped one. Sorry. All right, July, J-U-L-Y. Then August is A-U-G. And then September is the S-E-P-T. Then October, O-C-T. So O-C-T. Then November, N-O-V. And then December, D-E-C. Okay, so those are again kind of the easy ones, since once you practice your finger spelling, that you can pick up easily. All right, so I'm gonna actually show y'all a sentence, give you guys at least one sentence to have under your belt for communicating, so you don't have to always finger spell everything. And that is just basically saying my name is. And one of the things I wanted to explain before I really show you is in ASL, you actually don't sign every word. You only sign a few words. And that's kind of, it's very easy because you don't have to worry about, especially those articles and some of the like verbs you don't have to use. So in my name is, like my name is Jillian. I'm not going to say is. I'm going to go my, and then name is like 2 H's and you tap them. You just tap them on top of each other. Name. And then that's when I would just fingerspell Jillian. So you don't have to say my name is. And for those of you who joined us last week, we had someone who's in our group. She's not here now. I didn't see her here, but she's a mom of a boy who is deaf. And she was saying that they use what's called SEE. And I didn't get to elaborate, and I'm going to elaborate for you guys right now, so there's a difference. So American Sign Language, which is ASL, is not the only kind of language using sign. There's another kind where it's signing exact English. And that's where you would use the articles and you would use some of these verbs that aren't needed. And it can be a little confusing, especially when you have words like in ASL, when you're saying I'm going to the store, you would go me go to store or store me go. But in signing exact English, you would go I am going to the store. And so it's a lot more words and signing when you could just say store, I'm going. And so, but signing exact English can help, especially with writing and reading for deaf kids. So it's kind of like signing exact English can be good for the reading and the writing portion, but with communication, ASL is good too. So either way works. This is an ASL class, so I will be teaching the ASL, but either way works kind of in the education. It just depends on the kid, in my opinion. So if you guys do have any more questions about that, or like what a deaf education classroom is like or anything, I'm free to answer any questions. So if you guys have any questions, you can save in the back or write it down and you can ask me at the end. I'm more than happy to. So, my iPad turned off on me. So let me get back to my notes. Yes. My name's the 2 H's, tapping, name. And then you would just finger spell your name.
My name is A-N-N-A.
Perfect. So at least now if you met a deaf person, you could go at least, well, my name, I know my name. I can say it.
Name is
And then, so now I was thinking you guys might want to learn some of the signs for some events, like holidays. And try and figure out which is the best to start, because those are always fun in my opinion. And I would happily do a session where I give you any kinds of signs, like for Halloween, the signs for all the kinds of monsters and everything on that. Happy to do that. If you guys want that, let me know. I'm totally loving the Halloween signs. They're some of my favorites. So let's start with, we'll just start with Halloween, because there's 4 or 5 that I actually know for sure have signs. And then some of them, there's like, depends maybe how their family has a sign, and some just fingerspell. So the 5 I know are for St. Patrick's Day. Since that was just recent, it's like you're pinching, and you're just kind of pinch day. That's what it is. So it's just like you're pinching and then that. So yes, that's St. Patrick's Day. And then I'm skipping one. Oh, so obviously I haven't taught y'all the family yet. I'll get to that after this. But Halloween is just 2 H's and you go back and forth over your eyes. You can also do your full hand and go like this. Either way works. So Halloween. Then Thanksgiving is both hands come from your chin like this, and you just go Thanksgiving. So it's just like, because this is the sign for thank you. thank you. And so it's like, thanks, so much thanks, which is what Thanksgiving is for. So Thanksgiving. Then we have Christmas. Now, some people will say it's different. I've seen Christmas where you have the C and you pretend like you have a tree. So the C on top of your tree, and you just motion it like this, like a circular motion. Christmas. Some will just kind of go, I've seen some go with the C, Christmas, like the wreath. It really depends. Most people will kind of gather what you're saying. So, and then for Hanukkah, I believe, and I always get this one wrong, it's just like the 4 candles. So you just kind of have the 4 the 4 candles each on each finger. Sorry, the 8 candles, but 4 candles on each hand. And then if there's any other holidays, I'm trying to remember. Because Mother's Day and Father's Day, I'll show when I show family. And I'll show you guys that too, because that's easy.
4th of
Valentine's Day.
July. 4th of
Ooh.
July.
Yes. So Valentine's Day is you take your middle fingers and you make a heart over your heart. Just a motion of a heart. And you go Valentine's Day. So middle fingers sticking out. And then it's almost like you're pointing and then you're guiding a heart. Valentine's Day. So then for 4th of July, I believe they just do the 4th. They just kind of shake the 4th and then do July. So 4th of July. There might be a more sign specifically for like Alabama that some people use. I can definitely check and see with some of my coworkers and see what they say. But I think most I've seen will just go 4th of July. And then let's see. I'm going through the holidays of each month. Oh, New Year's. So New Year's is okay, this one's kind of a wonky. Let me pull it down a little. So you're gonna have your non-dominant hand kind of palming like this, which you do with like weak. And you'll have your dominant hand, and it's almost like you're scooping new, because this is a sign for new. New. So new, and then years. So New Year's. Yes. So there we go. Perfect. That just reminded me, I'm so sorry for this, you guys. I did not show you morning or evening or night. So I'm going to show you guys those. And then if you guys think that's enough, we can just practice what I've shown you. And then I won't add any more. I'll sit there and I think, well, I need to show them this. And I'm like, I cannot show them the entire ASL dictionary today. Like, got to give them time to breathe and actually practice. So for morning, it is just, you're going to kind of, oh no, I'm giving you good. Sorry. So morning is you put your non-dominant hand on top of, I'll pull this down a little. Put your palm on top of, right before your elbow bend. And then you're just going to have your dominant hand come up. Morning. 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 And now some people will do just morning like this, where they don't have the hand at all. That's just kind of, I'll see a lot of people go good morning, or they'll go good morning. So good, and then good morning. It always looks like an aggressive sign to me, like you're angrily yelling at people. And I'm always like, I remember when I saw this, like, that's a little angry. And they're like, no, that's fine. So for afternoon, again, I gotta keep this down so you guys can see. I keep forgetting how weird. You have the hand there again. In afternoon, you'll have like a slight cup, like you're making a C, and you bounce it afternoon. Some will go afternoon, afternoon, afternoon. And then night is your hand fully down. So like good night. Or they'll say, wait, let me slow down. Sorry. So night, that's one way. Obviously, you're more relaxed. It's down lower. If I do that, you can't. It looks weird. I'm sitting on my bed. That's the only best place I can have peace and quiet. So it's a little weird to see. And then some people will just go night, where they just put their palm on top of their fist. They're like night. So good night. So either works for you guys. It really is not you have to use this sign and that's it. It's like English. You have different words, but they all mean the same thing. So, okay.
Would you know the difference between thank you and good? Because it looked really
So
similar.
they are very similar. The difference is for thank you, you have no hand, your like non-dominant hand is just kind of down and your dominant hand just goes out. Thank you. But for good, your non-dominant hand is up and your dominant hand is out and it goes good, good. So it lands on your palm. So good. And that's because when you sign the word bad, it's just flop. So good, you keep the palm up. And then bad is that flip. You see, so good, bad. So that's the difference. Some get a little, they don't get so specific because you have context about what you're saying. So it's not like you're going to be saying, I had a thankful grade on my test today. You pick up, okay, it was a good test grade. So that's what a lot of people will say, because there are signs later on that are so close and so similar that I always stress out I'm going to sign it wrong. And especially for those that are like really bad words, I'm always like, why are they so close? Like, I have children. I don't know if they're signing the right thing or not. What are they using? And so I get so worried about that. And I'll always ask my coworkers, I'm like, how do you know when they're using it right and when they're using it wrong? And they say, it's just the context. So you very much are like, you can read the sentence and kind of go, if that doesn't fit, but that does, okay, so they're probably that. So, okay. How's everybody feeling? I'm definitely going to review. Don't worry. I'll go slow again. I know I said I wasn't going to give you guys too much, and then I did, and I'm apologizing so much. I'm going to write the list of words next time. So that way I will stop myself and I will not add more, because I do not want you guys to be scared looking at this language. It's fun, but it's also can be very stressful when you're learning so many at once. So, all right, let's go all the way back to our days of the week. So Monday, is that M facing you? Monday. Good, 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 good. Then Tuesday's the T, and that's shaking. Good. And then Wednesday's the W. And we have Thursday, which is the H, and that's in circles. And then we have Friday, the F, Friday. Then Saturday, the S over the thumbs and going in circles. Then Sunday or Sunday. I'm so happy y'all, most of y'all prefer this one. I'm sorry, that's like my favorite one. So Sunday. Then we had, I won't go over the months, and the reason is just because since that's more the finger spelling, I feel you guys can get that and kind of understand that, so you don't need me to go over. And if you do, please say so and I will. More than happy to. And then, okay, so my name is, so my name, and then you spell your name. Perfect. So my name. Good, good, good. Yes. Awesome. Okay. Now the events. Okay. So we had Halloween, which is Halloween or Halloween. Either one works. We had Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. Had Christmas. 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 We had Hanukkah. Hanukkah. I'm gonna check and make sure this one, because I always flop them. My hand's always wrong. And then we had St. Patrick's Day, which is the pinching. Valentine's Day, the middle fingers, the heart. The heart. Then we had, the 4th of July. So the 4th, shake the 4th, like that's kind of how people will say that's the day. Is that the you have it the 4th, the 5th, that. So 4th July. And then I feel like I'm forgetting one. I know I added a few signs. Oh, morning, afternoon, night, and then the good and bad. Okay, so morning again is the non-dominant hand on top right before your bend. Oh, and thank you, Holly. So morning, morning, then afternoon or afternoon. It's the same way, it's just motioning. You can have it sideways or forwards, either works. Then you have night, or you have night. Then we had, okay, so New Year's, that's the one. So new, like you're scooping from your hand, New Year's. So New Year's. And then, okay, good. So hand, and keep that hand up, the palm up. You don't move it at all. You just move, well, you don't flip it, I mean. And then bad is you flip it. Bad. And a lot of times when you're saying that too, your facial expressions will kind of change. You're not going to go, you're bad, or bad day today at work. You're going to be like, bad day, bad day. It was not fun, bad. So that's also something very important, is facial expressions. So that's, again, something that you really need to help get what you're trying to say across. So especially for you guys, since you guys are just learning and you're really wanting to practice, but you're not like master like ASL signers just yet. You definitely want to try to be aware of your facial expressions, because that will help. But also, I mean, they're very normal. It's not having the craziest facial expression that you've never done before. It's a lot of the, your eyebrows down when you're showing you're not happy, you're mad, you're sad. Eyebrows up when you're happy, surprised. So that. Okay. So I think that's it. Is there any other signs I've forgotten that you guys remember or want me to go over again? How are you guys feeling? Are we feeling good? Are we feeling a little Are we feeling a little
Overwhelmed.
And I apologize for that.
I need a drink.
know. What'd you say?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. I need a drink.
Well, and the best thing that
Jillian, I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. I'm a lefty
Yes.
like you are, but when you did July, you did it with the left hand, which I thought I had to do it with my right hand.
No. So okay. So sorry. Whenever I hear another lefty, I'm like, oh yes, lefties united. So there's so few of us. So for you and I, what we actually do, because I swapped my right hand for everybody else since everyone was right-handed. But what you and I would do is we would keep with our left hand, and instead of our J's going outward like theirs does, ours go inward.
Okay.
So,
I was not sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I remember that was like the biggest problem I had in my like signing class, was I kept going out and I was so proud. And then someone finally was like, you're signing that wrong. That's not how you do the J. And I got so mad. I was like, yes, it is. I go to my teacher, goes, actually, it's not. And I was like, I didn't know. So J, for us, it's inward.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
You.
Are there any other questions or anything you guys are just like curious about, or are we feeling good?
I'm curious about something weird, just like last week. I love to bring up Americana stuff. Are there any emojis for the deaf community?
So actually, on like iPhones, or do you mean? So
yeah,
there are. I remember I saw, because I look at those constantly. I'm always like curious to see, and there's actually one that I noticed they recently added, because a lot of them kind of work, but one of my ones I got so excited is they have the I love you sign. So the I love you sign is this, and I saw that, and when I saw that in the emojis, I cannot lie, I lost it. I'm trying to find it now. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. But so when I saw that, I lost it, because that is such a big thing, is like, love you. And because this is something you would kind of say with like your family, or, if you're, like celebrities are like, oh, I love you guys. They're like, love you, Yes. And so that's one that I know for sure that's like big. because a lot of the other ones are kind of hard to kind of put into an emoji, but this one I was happy they added. And then there's actually some cool deaf signs that they use, signs they use in deaf culture that kind of have a meaning that's kind of weird that would not make sense for us. So one of them is called kiss fist. And so it's literally just, you kiss your fist. And that's what you say when, oh man, that movie or that dinner was just the best. Like that was awesome. That was the greatest. That was delicious. Like that is a big thing. Cause I remember when I watched someone do it, I was like, what are you doing? Like, what is this? What is this? Are you making a promise? And they're like, no, it's like saying this is good. Like this was great. So, and then they have a few others, like I'm pretty sure this is one like pow, and it's basically just like success, like like finally. Because I just use this, but that's because I always, it's like no matter how much I learn ASL and how much I work with deaf kids, I want to respect their culture and be like, that's not my culture. And I don't want to use signs that is something that's
You don't want to co-opt their culture.
Yes. And deaf people are very prideful of their culture. And I'm so happy for them for that, because I'll tell you that deaf people most do not see being deaf as a disability. They find that when you call them disabled, it's an insult. And because technically to them, they're like, there's nothing wrong with me. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with their brain. The only difference is they just can't hear. And so it's a very prideful thing for them. And it can get very complicated because, me as a hearing person, I want to show my support and I want to show them I stand with them and I, want to help them get all the accessibility they can. But I also definitely do want to kind of be like, I know you guys can do it yourselves though too. I don't want to act like I have to lead you because I feel like that's almost like a reverse of it is if I'm doing too much and expecting them, like they can't manage it themselves, I'm like, that's not fair to them. So I like to kind of be like, I'm supporting you. And if you need me, I'm here, but I'm not going to take over. So that's just my standpoint. Did not mean to give you my whole spiel. That's just how I am. Yes, Miss Andy?
So I grew up with a mother who was deaf,
Mhm.
but she didn't lose her hearing until she was early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
So she could not sign, but she read lips so beautifully. She could see a conversation across a room and tell you what they were saying. It was incredible.
Yes.
Isn't
Yes.
that interesting?
I think it's so crazy. Like I'm telling you, deaf kids and deaf people and especially deaf kids will fool you every time. Now, some can lip read. Now, some can't, not always. And, back before really ASL kind of just spread and became a big thing, it was very much lip reading. And for your mom, since she lucked out and when I say lucked out, I mean that she had the experiences of seeing and hearing, so she could identify with the when you make your oohs, your lips kind of oohing. So yes, Miss Winnie, I saw you said teacher. Yes, sorry, I'll come back to that.
The sign for teacher.
Oh, teacher. Okay, yes. So I'll show you this real quick and I'll come back to what I was saying. So teacher is you have your almost like when you're doing that it's just keep it closed and you just them back and forth. So like teacher, person. So teach, person. And that's kind of what you do for almost all like when you're describing someone is you're going to use the sign for that action or that word and then go person. So a lot of times it's like worker, actor, engineer. It's that person. So what's kind of nice is that helps you not have to find a different word for different word for teach and then a different word for teacher. It's just adding that So that's what you would do. No problem. But yes, Miss Andy, what I was saying is that the oral reading definitely that helped her for sure. And actually, I don't know if you know this, but technically because your mother is deaf, you actually you can have the title of CODA, which is Child of a Deaf Adult.
Oh, I didn't know. My
Yes.
mother passed away last year, but
Oh, I'm so sorry.
not as sorry as I am, but yeah, I didn't know. And she didn't grow up in a deaf community,
Mhm.
but so do that again for me. Show me again.
So
What?
CODA is just the CODA, and those are children of deaf adults. And that's because it's really crazy. I mean, I remember my jaw dropped when I was learning about this, is that a lot of deaf people have hearing kids. About, the numbers probably changed now, but percentage is about 90% of deaf adults will have hearing children.
Mhm.
And 90% of deaf children were born to hearing parents. So it's a very little chance of deaf adults having deaf children.
Wow.
And so, yeah, so for anybody who has a parent who is deaf, they are called a CODA, which is CODA. And that's just child, it's just the acronym for Child of a Deaf Adult, and that. So my professor at college was actually a CODA, and she was very proud of it. So
So
it's always,
interesting.
oh, I'm telling you, I'm sorry, but like deaf culture is so cool to me. It's
Yeah.
so crazy, and learning about everything. I get so, oh, did y'all know this? Did you know that? And if I get too much, just tell me, because I literally could talk all day about deaf culture. I think it's the coolest thing and fascinating to learn. So
I agree.
yes. So are there any
Thank you.
other questions, any other curiosities that you guys have? Like, I'm an open book for this. I really am. And if I don't know it, I'm more than happy to ask anybody about it. So do you guys have any more? I know we're like past the time. If you gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta go. I'll ask you how to spell Pinot Grigio later. Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Alrighty. Well, if we're good,
Thank
then
you.
I'll see you guys next week. Does that sound good?
Sounds great. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.